one lied about you. And then I saw that fake grapefruit in that fake grocery store, and I realized that you were a fake friend. And then you said you were gonna blow everybody up just to show what a big guy you are? No friend would blow up another friend's country. You're just a flawed man with a big old butthole. And you pee and poo like the rest of us.
Tell me this thing. Will you be so cocky when I slay you in front of the whole world, you
Dennis.
Yankee motherfucker?
If you shoot me, you'll just be proving me right. You're just a sad little man. Dave! Dave, no! This is Dave Skylark. Signing off.
Dennis, no.
Goodbye, Dave.
Dennis. This is what happens when your presentation on blockchain doesn't go so well in North Korea. What's up, everybody? That's my totally not related to Bitcoin, but it does relate to North Korea intro. So let's get into some news here before we get into the commies. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So this is Kenneth Bozak. He's famous for... what is he famous for exactly? Wow, what just happened? Why am I all of a sudden in... Excuse me. So yeah, I guess he's known for like wearing a bunch of stuff and like getting tattoos and stuff. Anyways, I guess he's some type of influencer. He called somebody out for being a scammer in person. So anyways, he says, I'm starting to agree with Roger about Bitcoin Cash. And of course he has to preface it with please don't hurt me, because you know everybody's be cashing around. And then so it turns into this like battleground, right? And then it's like everybody knows never go full Roger Ver. And this is a guy who literally has his Cash App in his bio. So, you know, listen to those people who try and do Cash App giveaways every Friday. It's Cash App Friday, guys. It's Cash App Friday. But yeah, he basically just like, let's see. If you like BCH, you're going to love Hex. Wow, thanks for the comment. Very, very interesting. So yeah, people are starting to like wake up that maybe Roger isn't full of bullshit. Maybe Bitcoin Cash does make sense. So we just have to welcome these people with open arms. Say welcome. I'm gonna try and talk to Ken at some point. See what kind of made him actually change his mind, because it's valuable to see like why people like this kind of move over, and like how we can capitalize this and kind of make it so we can do this more, right? So more people can switch over because they see what is going on isn't actually a bunch of bullshit. And this is what the tweet that really triggered people. BCH is Bitcoin without the bells and whistles. And then, of course, Giacomo says, I think it's safe to say the birth ratio of new Kevin Phams is decreasing. Good signal. I don't even like know what this means, because like if he says the birth ratio of new Kevin Phams, if he's referring to Kevin Phams as people who like Bitcoin Cash, which isn't even correct, it's people that are anti-BTC, I guess is probably a better way, which is the other, of course. I don't know why he said it's decreasing, because he's literally like just happened. So I'm not sure your point there. And this is some guy who takes a selfie like this. So anyways, here's something kind of cool. Bitfinex Lightning Network is now live. So you can deposit and withdraw onto Bitfinex with Lightning. It's the first major exchange to do so. And what kind of this is enabling is so what's going to happen is a bunch of other exchanges are also going to run a Lightning node and have these deposits and withdrawals. Right now, if you're actually using the Lightning Network, it's really hard to route like more than $100, just because the channel capacity isn't there, right? And so what's going to happen is these exchanges are going to have these large pools of liquidity and then just open channels with each other. And then like if you're trying to send a Coinbase or Bitfinex, like you can send thousands of dollars because they have one giant channel open with each other. And so it's just creating a hub and spoke model that everybody was kind of predicting was coming. So it's coming. And So again, like trying to deposit your own Bitcoin into Bitfinex. I guess it could work because they have their own large pool of liquidity. Because like if you're trying to send them $500, they need at least $500. It's like so inintuitive. But they will have so they will be able to accept like a lot of outside liquidity. But again, it's just gonna like create these pools of liquidity in a hub and spoke model, and we're basically back to banking system 2.0. Twitter is the new news. Yeah, it really is. Can you stop showing us Twitter? Yeah, it's literally news for crypto. Like, so let's get into why we're here. Crypto is not for communists, but you know what is for communists? Blockchain. Because cryptocurrency. When you say cryptocurrency, you usually talk about one of the major coins that has a lot of liquidity and is accepted in a lot of different places. A lot of people use it. BTC is a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin Cash is a cryptocurrency. I don't know if you could call XRP a cryptocurrency because it's like you can literally it's centralized. ETH is a cryptocurrency. Basically, that means is that no third party can shut you down. It's like anonymous in the fact that it's pseudo-anonymous in the fact that you can just like spin up a new wallet and send coins whenever you want. So if you get shut down in one account, you can open a new one. People don't know it's you. It's uncensorable money. Blockchain, however, is the magic word that everybody loves. And blockchains can be centralized by just a few validating nodes. And so communists love this. And so who is Virgil? And so my handy coworker, I suppose we could call him, Kelso came up with this great list for me. So he has his personal webpage. I think it's we'll go to it real quick. So this is his personal webpage. Virgil Griffith, he's like a hacker guy. He first got his fame through this site called Wikiscanner. Yeah, Wikiscanner. And basically like it's a service that compared all the different edits from different Wikipedia pages and like cross-reference them with each other, so you could kind of figure out who was posting what. It tracked IP addresses and stuff like that. So you could kind of see who was trying to influence Wikipedia narratives, right? So it was in 2008, so a long time ago, and he kind of got infamous from this. And then he just started hacking. I believe he knew Vitalik before Ethereum started. It was like 2013 he met him. He didn't actually like participate in Ethereum in the very beginning, but he did come back to Ethereum to help out in 2016, the Ethereum Foundation. So he is involved with Ethereum. Him and Vitalik are very close. We'll see what Vitalik had to say about that. Let's back up a little bit here. So some other communists that think blockchain, not Bitcoin, is China. And so if you didn't know, okay, bye then. Dislike for that. See you later. He said, oh yeah, Bitcoin is great, or cryptocurrency is great. I don't know the exact quotes. And then Bitcoin went up a lot. And then a couple of weeks later, he said he wanted the country to be, I think it was like a week later, he basically said we want blockchain, not Bitcoin, right? And so basically this means they want, I guess this is kind of a good way to say it. So they want like a centralized blockchain where they can cross-reference all their different systems that they have in place. I was listening to this podcast about the China credit score. No, social, what do they call it? Wow, social score, social credit score. And it's basically like references. It's basically like an aggregate of all these different loans or industries, and if you like fuck up in one, it could reflect in another one. And it's not particularly about social media, even though there was this video circulating about this guy like chained up because he said something about the Chinese police. But anyways, like basically they would have a blockchain that I'm assuming like all the different provinces or just their capital have like their own validator nodes. And they can just censor whoever they want. I'm sure you need like KYC to use it, have your own person on it. Again, it's blockchain, not Bitcoin. So crypto's not for commies, but blockchain is. Dennis Rodman, he went to a North Korea summit with Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump, and he wore a Potcoin shirt. I don't think Potcoin did very well since then. Yeah. This is 2018 June. Let's see. a year and a half ago. How we doing? We'll do a year. Oof, man. It looks like every coin 6 mil mark gap to 1 mil. So I don't really. I'm guessing he just got paid a bunch and did that. It's kind of strange, but anyways, back to Virgil Griffith. He put down his deposit for going to North Korea. Anyone want to come with? Total cost is 3,300 euros. Japan, South Korea, Israel citizens not allowed. And so he said, "Hey guys, who wants to come to North Korea with us?" And then so what happened to him? I guess I have like all these details, but not the full story. So he went to North Korea, but this was after he asked the U.S. government to go, and they said no, you can't go. They like denied his visa, and then he still went. Like literally, like this is the U.S. government like gave him a specific like hard no, like you can't go, and then he still goes, and he even tweeted a picture of his visa that he got on Twitter, and so he was arrested in LAX last week. About I think it was on Thanksgiving actually, and so when again, like if the U.S. government like specifically says like, "Hey, don't do this," you probably like shouldn't do it. Like I don't care if you're an anarchist or whatever. Like you don't want to go. You don't want to go to jail. Don't be stupid, right? Anyways, he goes. He makes a talk on. The title was "Blockchain and Peace," and apparently, it was basically a talk about how North and South Korea could trade using cryptocurrency. There's obviously like no video or anything, but he did go to this. He did go to this conference, and we were actually like invited to this, or we got wind of it, I should say. And North Korea hosts the first Bitcoin conference con. So this is from February 5th, and yeah, you need to like KYC to go to their conference and stuff. I mean, like it's anyway. So you could call him a freedom fighter. You could call him all that, but I think at the end of the day, it's just like stupid for him to go when he specifically got told no, don't go. And again, like I'm not saying like I love the state, like good job, U.S. government. Like I know obviously like arresting anybody for that is just, obviously I disagree with like the state in general, but it's like if the state tells you don't do this, the state has the power to. They have a monopoly on violence, so they can do whatever they want to. So, and so what did Vitalik say? And he agrees with Virgil that it's cool. So it's his friend. But he had nothing to do with the Ethereum Foundation. So Virgil said this was all a vacation for himself, and basically he probably gave like a very high level blockchain talk, like what is blockchain, what can it do, it's cross borders, yada yada yada, right? So like none of this information is particularly unique, right? Like you could find it on the internet if you wanted to, if they have internet in North Korea, which I'm assuming the people he presented to have the internet, because you kind of need some type of internet for anything blockchain. There was no weird hackery advanced tutoring. The law is you cannot use the U.S. passport to travel to North Korea. He did not use the U.S. passport for the visa, so technically he did not break the U.S. rules. Wait, what? The law is you cannot use the U.S. passport to travel to North Korea. He did not use the passport for the visa, so technically he did not break the U.S. rules. But he got like literally denied a visa. He traveled, not on him. Okay, so here we go. So the FBI interviewed Griffith late May of this year. He went in April. FBI alleges he admitted to knowing the trip was illegal, that he sought permission beforehand and he was denied, and he held back passport documents to evade detection by U.S. authorities. So he like did not use his passport, right? Like you were saying. His talk was titled "Blockchain and Peace." He allowed his phone to be searched. His text contained the answer. Probably avoiding sanctions. Who knows? He wanted to send crypto to North and South Korea. He knew that this too was illegal. Because like, there's always sanctions in North Korea. You can't have economic activity with them by law. He wanted to get another citizenship. So there you go. He was conspiring to violate the IEEPA International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the sanctions. This was signed in 2008, so it's been, he faces 20 years, but he actually he's actually out on bail. I think it was today or yesterday, so I think he's out of jail now. Nobody knows what his bail amount was, but apparently he is out. And Virgil Griffith told a friend it would be really cool if North Korea mined ether. He was trying to arrange mining equipment be sent to North Korea. And so again, like, this is obviously illegal. It's one thing to like avoid the government in its own country, but it's one thing to like mess with its international relations. That gets kind of, they don't like that very much. They do not like that. So let's see what other opinions we got around here. Vitalik says, I hope the USA shows strength rather than weakness and focuses on a genuine and harmful corruption that it all in countries struggle with rather than going after programmers delivering speeches parodying public information. So again, it wasn't about the speech. It was about like going and trying to get materials, economic goods in and out of North Korea. Brian Klein is representing Virgil. He was the same guy who represented Charlie Shrem at one point, and some other guy. He's like a fintech lawyer, so in good hands. Of course, Sean McAfee disagrees with it because he hates the government more than like everybody. I don't think I have Roger's tweet pulled up. Give me 1 second. You know, Roger and his anti-government takes. Sanctions by targeting foreign citizens for death are every bit as much as an act of war as dropping bombs. So this is in response. Sanctions are an act of war. Using Ethereum to evade sanctions. Oh, that's Photoshop. It's like, what? And so here's some spice for you guys. You probably haven't seen this yet. So this is the same woman who has accused Peter Todd of sexual abuse, whatever. And I mean, not whatever. Of course, sexual abuse, harassment's bad, but she's accusing more people. So we'll see what happens. Virgil Griffith tried to sell Tor to web data, including user IP addresses, full URIs, and timestamps to Interpol, and put his filthy fucking arm around my waist, grabbed my ribcage, and forcefully led me around a room while bragging about his hacking skills. Rot, fasci, snitch. Oh, he's a fascist. Commies and fascism, they go together. So what happened was he ran like a Tor, very high level. He ran a Tor server, and he could see people's IP addresses and where they were going, and under the mask of being hidden. And then he tried to sell this to Interpol. So, and then anyway. The same week, but after the weird waist-grabbing assault incident, bragged about approaching Interpol to sell them use the data he'd been continually collecting. He later sent a fucking goddamn huge zip file, 24-hour snapshot of his data to try and prove there's nothing in it. And it was horrible. Everything people looking at medical conditions to porn. Highly amusingly, New York Times got someone to write a hilarious expose on him, which started off with what is possibly this century, as we know, its most brilliantly satirical sentence. Girls hang on Virgil Griffith, which has been an in-joke in hacker communities for over a decade. So, apparently he's like been known for doing this. A U.S. citizen has the right to travel, speech, and press. Even a presidential executive order cannot violate a U.S. citizen's rights. I would assume. I mean, again, like, I get the travel thing, but he tried to like, literally like help them. Whether it was public information or not, he did like directly go to them and say, hey, this is probably how you can like use blockchain to avoid sanctions. I mean, I'm sure those exact words didn't come out, but I mean, blockchain and peace. So, and she also, okay, yeah. So this is weird. So apparently this guy and Peter Todd are both like sexual predators. There's just some extra spice for you. And so here is the very anti-Virgil I'm like kind of in the middle. Like I think what he did was stupid, but I'm not like cheering for his arrest. You know. Oh my God, it's like SJWs her that make the communists look worse than they are. I mean, if he did actually like do the waste thing, but like she could have said no, like stop it. Like did he need to ask permission to put? Okay, I need to stop talking because sexual stuff is bad optics. Bad optics. Hey guys, I see a lot of misconceptions about North Korea underlying a lot of the tweets on it. I think it's important to understand what makes this country different. It's essentially a prison masquerading as a country. And so basically she goes through and says how North Korea is like the biggest piece of shit country in the whole world. And if a North Korean verbalizes a thought not in line with the regime's propaganda or commits some other perceived crime, they risk not only being sent to prison camp, but also having their entire family sent there and the next 2 generations being born, living, and dying there. You can be punished for watching a foreign movie, talking to a foreigner, or basically doing anything that doesn't show 100% loyalty to the Kim family. And so I see people saying it's not a crime to help the North Korean people, but the only way to help North Korean people is in secret. Any public activity between North Korea and a foreigner is with the dictatorship, not with everyday people. The regime craves outside relationships with foreigners because it legitimizes them, and it never lets everyday North Korean people interact with foreigners because that includes the possibility that the citizens would have proof that everything the regime tells them is lies. And so, no electricity, continued imprisonment, 25 million people, that's their population. But an approved public talk means you are interacting with a dictatorship, giving them knowledge that helps them. And what do? They oppress 25 million people. And so, North Korea's a shithole. Virgil's trying to help, I guess. But, again, good luck. Good luck with that. So, I see a lot of people being like, free Ross, free Virgil. It's not logically consistent to want to free Ross and also want to free the guy helping the dictator who locks up people along with their family and the 2 generations after them. So, yeah, she don't like him. She don't like North Korea very much. Some other funny thing, in June 2017, Vladimir Putin met with Vitalik. So, these Ethereum pictures hilarious. That's a pretty hilarious man. Hey, little Ethereum friend. And here's some of his Facebook pages. I couldn't find any pictures from North Korea, but he did meet the Dogecoin dog, which is pretty neat. That's a much happy, very wow. Virgil wanted a market opportunity for North Korea to establish the world's only non-KYC crypto exchange. So again, was he trying to help him? But again, it's like you said, you have to help them. You have to like talk with the citizens, which is near impossible. Giving information to dictatorships, whether it's on the internet or not, perhaps isn't. But I don't know. We saw the sitting U.S. president shake hands with Kim Jong-un a couple months ago. So that's... Oh, here's a good one. Heading to Seoul for Spank Chain. Virgil said, will you come with me to North Korea in April? Brenda Sparks. She says, ooh, Spank Chain. And then Virgil's like, yo, come on down. North Korea time, babe. Ghosted. Fucking wrecked. So Virgil might not know he's helping the dictators. He had good intentions. Laura has a major point. Yeah, I know. I mean, like, he can definitely have good intentions. I have no doubts about that. But again, it's just a matter of what it actually is, you know? What it actually is. Because I'm calling it like it is. Okay, it just hurts for me to say. So yeah, women don't like Virgil. But yeah, as far as I made this point in the beginning, but communist society, they keep control over everything. Like, that's literally like the definition of communism is distribution of goods according to the state, and they would never allow a true peer-to-peer currency happen because that's a huge source of control, is controlling the money. But what they would allow is state-sanctioned currency, which is blockchain, right? Public records, private records, but don't expect anything like Bitcoin to catch up on in North Korea anytime soon. So, anyways, I'm gonna call it out for this episode. I'm gonna keep streaming on D Live. Link is in the description. Bye now.